Since January this year, Tainan County government has been encouraging and accepting the Siraya people's application to register their status as indigenous peoples of Taiwan. So far, more than 10,000 Siraya people have applied. However, the move is not recognized by the central government. The Council of Indigenous Peoples and the Ministry of the Interior stated that following the current administrative regulation, it is impossible for the government to recognize the Siraya as the indigenous peoples of Taiwan. This statement enraged the Siraya people.
Tainan County government took the first move to advocate for the recognition of the Siraya group as the 15th indigenous group in Taiwan. Since January, the county government has been accepting applications of those who are registered as So-Fan on their domicile record during the Japanese colonial rule to be redressed as indigenous people. Now, more than 4 months later, the number of applicants has exceeded 10,000. Nevertheless, the Council of Indigenous Peoples responded to the move and stated that it is very difficult for CIP to recognize those applicants' status under the current administrative regulations. CIP said in 1956, 57, 59, and 63, the government provided 4 opportunities for those Su and Ping to redress their status, but that the Siraya people failed to reinstate their status during those years. Therefore, the CIP has declined to identify the Siraya people as indigenous people, and it says it's unlikely that their status can be changed now. The statement enraged the Siraya people. They use the current law to oppress our actions, but their statement is weak, because according to Article 8 of the Indigenous Status Act, we are eligible to reinstate our indigenous identity. It's very obvious. Basically, if CIP continues to oppress us with the regulation, they're only contradicting themselves. Since 2001, Taiwan's 14 indigenous groups has been listed on the domicile record as a choice for identity, along with an additional option for others, for those who don't belong to any other groups listed. The Siraya people were planning to register their status as others on the record. However, the Ministry of the Interior issued an official document in April stating that the option of others will be cancelled at once. Yet the Siraya people are suspicious of the government's motivation of this move. What about these 30,000 Siraya people? It is sad that they will not have identities. It's like they are invisible. The government wouldn't allow us to register as indigenous people in April. Well, that's fine, because what they are doing now will only inspire our stamina to fight for our rights. Yet via phone interview, the Ministry of Interior explained,
we discussed what to do if more groups are recognized. Hence, on December 29, 2001, we decided to put others as a temporary option through the registration system. So until the Executive Yuan approves to ratify another indigenous group, they can be categorized temporarily as others until the system is adjusted to include the name of the new group. Our responsibility really is to delete the option of others from the system afterwards.
While the Siraya people refuse to accept the current administrative procedure, as it is interpreted by the CIP and the MOI as a means to resolve their demand. They say this interpretation is the government's attempt to strangle Siraya people's attempt for recognition. The Siraya group has been fighting for their indigenous identity for more than a decade, but has never been supported by the government. Now they are worried that if the group is not officially recognized sooner, they will lack sufficient resources to protect their culture and language. If that happens, Siraya people will really become invisible in the history of Taiwan. TITV Weekly.